Hey. Previously, we are building our data layer and domain layer. At this time, we are going to build, but it's going to be block for state management and injection container, and then just a little bit UI. But at this video, we are not going to focus on building UIs. Okay, let's start building our presentation layer. Presentation. Inside our presentation, there's a lot of things. It's going to be page, page. So that there is a page before we are building an Arab page. What we need to do is okay. Let's connect with our main uh, scaffold. OV column text of page, and I just need to be center wrapped with center. Just a simple page. Let's connect this thing with our main. To do that, let's remove our colonel and it's gonna be out page. That's always what we are going to do it. Oh, we didn't run this program. Let's run it. Let's create block inside our presentation layer. Let's call it out. It's already created inside block. There is out block, out event, out state. We are going to start building with out state. The first state is going to be out initial, but we are going to build another state. Final class going to be login success. Going to extend out state, but at this time it's going to return something. If you are successfully logged in, what we are going to return final is going, if we are logged in successfully, we are going to return out entity. And let's build a constructor for this out entity. How to build a constructor login success. It's going to require this out entity. That's how we are going to build the constructor. It's going to be const to remove that error, and we need to override it. It's going to be prop, and we are going to return this out entity. That's how we are going to do it. If we are successfully logged in, we are going to return out entity. It means like we are going to return that token. What happened if we got error? It means if you are not successfully logged in, or if you got an authentication error, let's create a class for that. Out error is going to extend out state like the previous one where we are building login success state. But at this time, if you are not successfully logged in, we are going to uh, send some error message. Final string is going to be message, and let's build a constructor. Out error is going to be require this message. Then we are going to return those things. To do that, let's override it with prop, and let's return this message, and it's going to be constant. It's going to be constant. That's how we are going to implement our state. The next thing we need to implement is our event. It is simple. It's not that much complicated to build event. Let's create class for login event, and it's going to be extend out event. What happened when we are in login event? It means it's look like in transition. It's going to be in transition. What happened when you press the login button? It's going to be the same as our state. It's going to accept login entity. We need to construct. Where is login event? We need to build a constructor for this one. Required this login entity. Of course, it's going to be const. Const. Unlike the auto state, we are not going to return anything. If you are watching this video, when we are building the auto state, we are going to override it. When we are building an event, you don't do anything like this. That's all. If you like to build a login state, the last thing we need to build is our block. How we are going to build our block. It's just a little bit complicated, but if you are following correctly, we are going to get make sense. Final login use case. If you are calling, like when you are building the UI, you are going to call this block. Okay, if you are calling this block, the first thing we are going to initialize is our domain name. That's why we are going to start building from our domain layer. That's all. There is nothing else to get complicated. Then we need to build a constructor, but this time already it's just started. House block required this dot login use case, and we are going to super initialized with an event like this. Then let's implement it. On login event, what's going to happen? We need to create a function. to simplify like our code, because it's going to be, it should be readable. Event, this thing is not created, but we are going to create it. Future void on login event. What's going to happen is in our login event, we are going to pass login event is going to be event like this. The first thing we need to pass is our event, and we need to pass our emitter. For emitter, we are going to emit. How to spell emit? Emitter out state, and it's going to emit. It's going to be asynchronous. That's how we're going to build our function. Then we need to implement it. The first thing we need to implement is, oh, I just missed one thing. We need to create loading state. Loading state is going to be empty final class loading is going to extend out state, but it's not going to accept anything, or it's not going to return anything. What happened when it is loading state? When it is when it's loading, I think it's going to be circular indicator. Okay, we are going to build those things in the future. There is two things when we press the login button. Of course, there is only two things. The first thing is success, the next thing is failure. Let's create final failure or success. It's going to be our weight, and when we are calling the login, and we are going to pass our events dot login. When you are pass our login entity, what's going to happen? There is two things going to be happen, either fail or success. Fail or success dot fault. The left means when it is a failure. For failure, what we need to do is, okay, our failure is going to be failure. Let's create something for our failure. When it's going to fail, we are going to emit out error, and we are going to pass some messages. I think our message is going to be string. That's all we need. What happens if it is success? If we succeed, what we are going to do for our success? Okay. Of course, we are going to emit it. We are going to emit login success state, login success, and our it's going to be success. That's all we need to build our login block. Okay. After that, what we are going to do it? We need to do connect this thing into our main, and let's initialize our injection. Okay, this one is like a little bit complicated, but you guys going to understand my idea on the way. Let's just build one injection and connect it to our main injection container. Injection container dot inside our injection. Let's create final service locator. It's going to be get it dot instance, or it's not recognize get it function. Let's install our get it. Okay, then like let's initialize this thing. We got the instance future. Our future is going to be void, and we are going to initialize it. Async. This one is for core. Anything we need to initialize use case. Okay. Data source repository. Block. I think that's all. We need to initialize it. Okay. I think there is. Let's start with our repository. Register lazy singleton. Okay. First thing, what is our repository? Okay. Out repository. For this thing. Did I miss something? Yeah, I miss it. Out repo. This is our implementation. Inside this there is out remote SL dot, just SL, that's the whole function. There is only one remote data source for our repository. Okay, let's initialize our data source. For our data source, how we are going to do it? SL dot register singleton, singleton. The same thing we need to do is what we are going to do. Out remote. Inside here it's going to be out remote implementation. There is client. It's going to be SL. That's enough for our data source. What about use case? Okay, let's initialize our block. For our block, SL dot register factory. What we are going to call it? Going to be post article. No, it's not going to be a for our use case. SL dot register singleton lazy. Login use case. Our repository is going to be SL. That's for our use cases. Login. The last one is going to be our block. Where is our block? Is that going to be on login event? What is the name of the function? Out block. Out block login use case. Think it's going to be out block. SL. That's how we are going to build our injection. Then we need to try connect with our main. If it's working, That's perfect. Otherwise, we are going to fix some errors. Let's initialize our wait dot. I think I missed something. Wait the I dot in it, and let's call our injection. Okay, let's call it as di. Let's change to di, and it's going to be asynchronous. So we are going to initialize it. Then we need to build a constructor provider, not constructor. It's going to be provider for our block. When we are returning inside our home, I think there is our body. Our body is going to be let's fix something. Yeah, I'm going to build the block provider. And I don't need this thing. Okay. Okay, let's try to block provider. Going to be out block. My block provider is not working for me. I always struggle with consuming block. Can I remove this? Wrap remove? There is no wrap remove. Okay. Inside screen util initialized. There is something inside here. There is design size, canopy costs 390 and 8044, and the last thing, builder is going to be build block provider, multi block provider. Why can't I call it block? Okay, let's install block. Turn. Okay, this thing is going to be out block, and we need to remove this one. We just need one block. The next time we are going to do it, we are going to add multi providers the next time. Okay, out block is going to be I think we can do like this. In we are going to do it like this. Block provider context, provide block provider, going to be out block, and we are going to create context ei dot sl. That's how we're going to call our out block. Think we don't need anything else. Container in child, we need to return this thing. Did we get error? Let's restart it. Yeah, we got errors. Then the following assertion Schofield dot okay, let's install some observer. It's going to be confusing when we are working with block. I don't want to rewrite this thing. Block observer dot dart. Let's paste this thing. If you wanna rewrite it, I think you can see it. Then let's add our block observer in here. Then block observer is going to be block dot observe simple block observer. What's the problem? Okay, let's fix this problem for the next video. I don't want to spend your time with this.